Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steven with Freeze Peach Gaming, and today we're going to take a look at the Wheel of Time trailer that Amazon just dropped. I'm going to be perfectly honest, I'm not the biggest Wheel of Time fan. I read Eye of the World like 10 years ago, and I don't remember it all that well. I remember some key points here and there, but I didn't get really deep into the series. I didn't read all 45 books or anything like that. So if I get any of the lore wrong or any of the characters I'm incorrect with, just don't quote me on it, or comment down below and let me know how I'm wrong. Before we get into this, I would like to ask for anyone who is willing to subscribe, who thinks I have earned your subscription, please think about giving me that subscribe, because I could really use your help right now. I'm trying to get to 10 by the end of October. I am currently at 3, and I could use all of your help that I could get. Well, let's hop right into this trailer. Start it over.
Be strong. The wheel of time turns, and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend.
Okay. I will say, I mean, that definitely appears to be some CGI rendered art, but that does look pretty good. You know, large tower in the background. I'm definitely already getting some Game of Thrones vibes. That's kind of the overall impression that I had, that this is just Amazon's latest attempt at trying to do a Game of Thrones clone. Say that 5 times fast. Netflix tried to do it with The Witcher, and it didn't work out that great for him, I think. My personal opinion on The Witcher is that Henry Cavill was a great cast for it, but I don't know. Well, maybe we'll get into it a bit deeper. Let's see if it has some of the similar issues to The Witcher.
The power inside you. All over the world there are different names for it. But it's one thing.
Okay, hang on. Let's go back 10 seconds here. So, this is what throws me off about a lot of shows like this. Alright. Look at this. We've got this kingdom, all these white people here in this kingdom. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't know, it just feels like off of face value, you know, they've got this, black female queen here. It feels like they're trying to force diversity into things. And so whenever I start to see all of this forced diversity crap going on here, my main issue isn't that they are doing race or gender swaps or anything like that, because it can be done well. For instance, look at the 2013 show Hannibal. They do an excellent job of doing race and gender swaps with that. But when they do it in these other shows, I immediately get the feeling that they're going to get really lazy about a lot of other things. That's my main complaint with The Witcher. It isn't just that they have all of these black people in there, which it's supposed to be like medieval Poland, and I take a bit of exception to that personally, because there isn't a whole lot of Polish literature out there, and as someone of Polish descent, I would like to see that properly, transcribed onto the screen. But I don't get to have that. I get to have, we go to this kingdom, which appears to be predominantly white, and that's all well and good, but then, all of the elves are black, and it just doesn't work as well. Or, the lead guard for the queen is black. It feels weird, it feels forced, and it makes me think initially that they're going to get very lazy in other parts. Once again, with The Witcher, look at episode 1. A lot of people complain about the first few episodes, but episode 1 is really telling. There is a huge plot hole right there. And for instance, if anyone in the comments can tell me down below, just from what is displayed in the show, don't go into the lore of the books from The Witcher, but just what is displayed in the show from the first episode, I want you to tell me why Geralt had to go to the town to kill Renfri and all of her men. Why? What was the purpose? What was the reason? And I don't know, just seeing this automatically makes me think that this is what's going to be going on again.
One power, and women who can touch it.
right, so I'm thinking there was another thing. What was it? The Aes Sedai. So they are a class of female warriors, right? But it seems like they were oddly diverse there when they're supposed to be coming from a single tribe, and I believe they were intended to be of Mediterranean descent. So it feels weird to have all of these. It feels weird to have all of these multicultural Aes Sedai there when they're a singular tribe. Once again, this is already, just from the trailers alone, it's already starting to feel a bit more like The Witcher than Game of Thrones. It feels like they're trying to do a Game of Thrones clone, but they're actually cloning The Witcher. There's far more action. That was one of the things that set Game of Thrones aside, is that there was very little action, particularly in the first season. It's a drama first, and you get some, medieval fantasy second.
It's a crossover hit. It's not just for fantasy enthusiasts. They're telling human stories in a fantasy world.
And that's the main issue that these shows are having. They're ignoring the drama. They're ignoring a lot of the world building, and they're just going to throw you right into it. And from what I understand, I have some friends who are big fans of Wheel of Time. There's a buttload of lore and world building in there, and they start you off very small. I remember in the book, as you're supposed to do when trying to do a branching out world building, they start you off in a very small village in a very small town, and you're following specifically the story of Rand, and you're seeing the world through his eyes, particularly in the first book. And it feels like they're going to try and throw everything out there way too fast, and I think it's going to get very cluttered and bloated very quickly. All right, all of that right there, that seems like leftover MCU CGI that they're using there. Let's see what happens. Oh, the lightning strike. Yes, I remember the lightning strike in the book. I do remember that part. Particularly, I remember in the book when Rand first summoned the lightning. That was a really interesting part of the book. That was one of the parts that got me to get all the way through it. It was very sudden and very quick, and it didn't seem like he had a lot of control over it. And as we see here, there's all this there's like all this energy moving around her before she does it. Let's see. Yeah, there's all this energy moving around her, and if I'm remembering correctly in the books, it's just elemental control. You don't see all of these, all of this ether flowing around them, and all of this light, and everything is given this milky white filter. I personally would prefer just straight up elemental control. Like, you just see her concentrating maybe some somatic and some verbal components, and then bam, lightning strike comes out. It feels much more visceral and raw to me than having all of this MCU leftover CGI. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of this show, so I'm not really looking forward to it, but I thought I'd go over the trailer anyway to see if it was something that might interest me, and I'm going to be honest, modern shows and modern films have kind of put a bad taste in my mouth for anything new that's coming out. I'm honestly not even all that excited for season 2 of Witcher. I liked season 1. I personally think that Henry Cavill probably had to take that extra year just to let his back heal from carrying it so hard. But yeah, I mean, I loved the games for The Witcher. I've read a few of the books, haven't gotten through the whole series. But I don't know, the first season, there were parts of it that were good, there were parts of it that were bad. It was a mixed bag. I've watched it more than once, and I'll probably watch it again. But with this, I don't know, I might give it a try. just to see how it goes, see what happens, but it's not giving me a whole lot of hope. It looks and feels like everything else coming out these days, and I don't know, maybe I'm pining for a previous time, but I miss when shows were more visceral and raw, especially something coming out on Amazon where they don't have to worry about, censors or things like that. They can put out whatever they want. And it feels like everything has the same filters on it. Everything has the same look and the same feel to it, and it doesn't feel all that original. Like, if you were told this was going to be a side story of The Witcher, would you even notice a difference? I don't know if I would. Anyway, I think that's all I'm going to say on that today. If you enjoyed this content, please give me a like and leave me a comment down below, and let me know if I got anything horribly wrong about the lore. And please think about subscribing. That would help me out a lot. And also sharing this content. That's the main thing I need right now, is to have my content seen by more people. Thank you, have a wonderful day, and never be afraid to speak your mind.
Why do Scotsmen wear kilts? Because sheep can hear zippers. Oh, waka waka!